that godly wisdom is the principal thing. The principal thing. Then when you hear about wisdom, what comes to your mind? How do you understand wisdom? Now, we keep on telling us that, especially during our last retreat, we emphasize that wisdom, you can't find it on the pages of theological book. It's not written on the coat of the wise people of the past. Wisdom remains the attribute of the heavenly candidate. And we keep on telling you today that wisdom, come what may, if you see anybody in heaven today, or you are going to see anybody in heaven tomorrow, or somebody has been in heaven, or somebody is in hell, I'm telling you this categorically. No foolish person in either hell or heaven. No foolish person. Before anybody can go to hell, he has to attribute some wisdom. There must be wisdom he has put into places. To follow the devil, you have to be very, very intellectual. You have to, before you follow God, you have to must be intellectual. You must be somebody that full of wisdom. Because everything that leads to hell is not for foolish people. Talk about any sin, common lie. Before you can abuse somebody, you have to understand that person very well. What it will pain that you have to know it. So before you can even tell lie, you have to be very intelligent. Before you can join lies together, before you can use lies to cover lies, you have to be. You are not a fool. So before you can even fight your husband, before you can fight your wife, before you can oppress, before you can steal people's money, before you can even break into a locked door, before you can know how to use master key to open into other people's property, you can't be a fool. Before you can even know how to cheat others, before you can forewarn people, you have to sit down and plan it, the strategy. You have to know how to beat the security of that person's wisdom too. So wisdom is a common idea that touches the spirituals, both hell and God. Now talk about God as well. Before you can follow God, before you can understand the mystery of the Spirit, before you can interpret the wisdom of, before you can interpret the language of God, you must be very, very wise. Before you can read the pages of the Bible, the same page today, page tomorrow, and mean the same different thing to you entirely. Every day. Before you can open the pages of the Bible and talk about it for maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, you are not a foolish somebody. So on the side of God, if God look back and see his follower, they are not foolish people. When devil look at people that is back again and see his follower, they are not foolish people as well. Before the devil can manipulate Eve in the Garden of Eden, he applied wisdom. He applied wisdom. Before he can quote God and manipulate the quotation and deceive deceive Eve, is a lot of wisdom. Before you look at anybody in this world, before Delilah can betray Samson, it's a lot of wisdom. A lot of wisdom. Before Ijaopo could destroy himself, a lot of wisdom as well. Now, by the grace of God today, I must tell you that wisdom is not found on the street of the foolish people. No, but the issue is this: Who is the foolish person? If you don't know the foolish person, you can't know who is wise. Foolish people, that's why I say godly wisdom. I don't say devilish wisdom or general wisdom. Godly wisdom. What is godly wisdom? Godly wisdom is an insight to the knowledge of God. To the knowledge of God. We have other wisdom. Even Yoruba used to call it Abamberebere. It's a wisdom as well. They believe there's one wisdom, but a cunning one. Some people serpentine wisdom as well. You know, how do you think some people can be able to keep maybe concubine? A married somebody who have husband at home or who have wife at home, how do they be the security? How do you see the school girl at the club party? How do you see them there? It's wisdom. Now, the godly wisdom is digging deeper into the knowledge of God. It's finding out how God reasons, how God behaves, how God characterizes himself, or what is the interest of what is in the interest of God. How God patterns his ability. Now, that is the insight. I said insight into. Then I mentioned something about knowledge again. I said insight into the knowledge of God. Then number 2 is the application of that knowledge you have discovered about God. Then who are the foolish people now? The foolish people are those people who practice or follow into the insight of the knowledge of the devil. They plan how to tell lies. They discern how to do people. You know, somebody sent a message to me today. He sent it over the, maybe he knows how I can, before he can even do that, he knows where I can be communicated with. Then he used the name that he knows that I can be communicated with. And he started by asking a question. He said, just today, he said, have you seen my business tactics I posted on the Facebook? Somebody sent someone to talk to me again, maybe at the beginning of this week as well. He said, do you have interest in coming over for business, something, and things like that? Straight away, I said no. Today again, the person now said, have you seen what I've posted? I said to, have you seen what I posted about Jesus as well? The person you can invest your life and you can never regret it. I just decided to make sure that anything about me must be about Jesus. Anything apart from that, I decided I won't take it into reckoning. I won't put it, I won't even think about it. Whatever I want won't give me anything about Jesus. I won't just embrace it. That is an insight. That is an application of the insight of that knowledge I acquired. Nobody can remain the side of the kingdom or a pilgrim to that kingdom without that application. Bible says something. You know, when we say about wisdom, you keep on hearing about knowledge. Knowledge. At least knowledge is what you know. What you know. Not just what you desire. Or what you plan. It is about what you know. What you know already. Or if somebody is trying to pass some things across to you, it won't make any meaning until you click with your knowledge. Godly wisdom now says in John chapter 8, verse 32. John chapter 8, verse 32. It's a common Bible passage that really brings out the beginning of the principal thing and the liberations that the principal things bring unto us. John chapter 8. The Bible says that, and ye shall know the truth. That is an insight. That is an insight. You will know it. The knowledge will come about the truth. Second part is you will apply it. You must, there's a very big gap between that first phrase and the second one. He said, and the truth shall make you, not I said. It's going to bring the transformation. It's not going to set you free. It will make. It will bring a making out of you. It will make you like God made man out of the dust. Out of the truth you know is what you are made up of. Then when you are made up of that knowledge now, it will make you free. It will make you free. When you have the knowledge or the insight about the plan of God for you to have a good home, to marry a right husband, to have a good business, to have a good money in your pocket, to have a good planning for your tomorrow, the first thing God will do for you is, if you know, he will allow you to, he will give you the grace or the insight to know the truth. You will know that truth. That, okay, this is a good marriage. You will understand how a good marriage stands. You will know it. How good business stands. You will know it. You won't just fall into it because somebody is doing it. That is why people learn trade. They are looking for knowledge. They want to know the truth about that business. They just want to copy the business and begin to run it. That is why some people spend years in the school. What are they looking for? Insight of what their career should be. Some people even travel out to acquire knowledge. They want to know the truth. The truth. And the truth, the depth of the truth is unending. It's unending. Thank God, Bible is the book of the truth. You can't read and overread Bible. It's in depth. That's why you come to church every day. This place I've read today now. If I can ask you, how many times have you read it in your hearing? From your school, Bible school days. How many times? So many times. But how many people applied the truth they know? How many people? What the devil does is, he used to stand in between the truth you know and the making of making you to be free. He stand in between. That is what he did to Eve. The same idea, the same pattern. That will never grow wiser. He never had any new idea. The old system, if you just stand in between, use any method of any kind, And you know, devil, when they want to come across somebody and manipulate issues, he won't go and bring something you don't know about. If he's going to take you up about your dress, he will talk to you about the dress you know about. He will tell you that this dress you are putting on, what do you think is bad in it? He will ask you to look at it very well and try to steal away what can make you free from that thought that is putting across to you. He will tell you that now good marriage is good. Yes, you know that one yourself. Good marriage is good. But he will not want to make you free. He will tell you that, what if you do your own like this? What if you chat secretly? What if you don't let people know about it? What if you apply your own way? Coming to the church and enjoying Bible study every day is good. Fantabulous. That is the truth you know. But why can't you stay at home and study yourself? Why can't you try other means? What, you have your knowledge of yourself. You are learned. You are an adult. Why can't you study at home? It is compulsory you go today. Why can't you stay at home and study? Many preachers are there on the television. Why can't you embrace one of them? They are like that. The truth you know. By the grace of God today, I will tell you, I will just paraphrase it. And I will dwell on just single one a lot. That is the interpretation of Solomon's prayer. The interpretation of Solomon's prayer. Why was God? What does God have interest? Three things were there. I've mentioned one of it for you. Three things were there in the prayer of Solomon. Then I will tell you what it means. How does it bring liberation? What makes it for God to have interest in it? If you like writing, you can put it at subheading. 3 lessons from Solomon's prayer. So wonderful. When you unwind it, you know, God says something in James 5. If anybody lack what? What should you do?
You should ask.
You must ask. Lack. You can't. You have to ask. I told you in the past. It's not a package. It doesn't come with a package of how old you are. It doesn't come with your gender, or where you travel to, or how educated you are, or how anointed you are, or how miracle workers you are, or how many churches you are planted, or how many people you are addressing. No, it is I call it it is godly wisdom. You ask from God. Once you discover that whatever you are doing doesn't have the backing of God, once you discovered that it doesn't have the backing of God, then automatically it has the backing of the devil. It is the wisdom from the devil. When you discover that something, you are doing something, and God is not there, and you see maybe before, you so something has really trained you, exposed you, or trained you to be coming to church earlier, and then you keep on coming earlier, or keep on coming regularly, or even attending some fighter programs and things like that. Then you keep on enjoying it. And something now come into your inside and said, you have to pipe low. Pipe low. You can't cope. That is wisdom from the devil coming and introducing. You know, if I've been fellowship with God for a long time, fellowship with God for a very long time. Devil just came one time. Devil has never seen in his life, in her life. He has never come give her instruction before. He used to come as a strange person. That's why we call him serpent. He used to come as a strange idea. The strange idea will come to obstruct the stable one that you are enjoying before. He will introduce another idea to you. Oh, let me go to Solomon's prayers. In the book of First King, chapter 3. First King, chapter 3. First King, chapter 3. Now, look at from verse, because of the time, from verse 6. That is the beginning of Solomon's prayers. Though that one I will list to be number 3. That verse 6, I will list to be number 3. Because that is where I will have to share a lot of things with us. Bible says in verse 6, and Solomon said, thou art shew unto thy servant David, my father, great mercy, according as he walked before thee in truth. In what? In truth. That is the knowledge he knows. And in righteousness. He knows about it. David was his father. He knew how his father lived. The knowledge of the lifestyle of David, he knew it. He was saying this categorically. And he knew the connection between David and God. He now mentioned 3 things. He mentioned 3 things. He said, you have joined him great mercies. Why? Because he has walked before thee in truth. Number 2, in righteousness. Then number 3, in uprightness of heart with thee. That is godly wisdom now. Not with the devil, but with God. The fellowship had been constantly with God. Though David fluttered, David fell, David sinned. Even in sin, he can still understand how he worked himself back to God. Not because he didn't fail, or he didn't sin, or he did not do something that is contrary to the will of God. But he knew that David, if he sinned any sin, you can never find him again second time there. You will never. He was so steadfastly moving towards God. You know somebody that the prophet you come today and say, oh, you have cheated your neighbor. Second day again, he will still come again and say you have cheated your neighbor. No. He knew it was so upright in steadfastness towards God. When the pool of sin pulled David, it will always pull him towards God. It will not pull him away. Whenever the word is pulling in, whenever the challenge of the word is pulling in, even when he's discouraged, it's always towards God. So, well, even if he kill me, I will still be steadfast. Nothing can discourage me. It will never stop fellowshipping. When Eve sinned against God, when Adam sinned against God, what do? When they hear his voice, they ran away. When they hear the rebuke of God in the garden, they took to their heel. Not David. When he hear about God, that he was being challenged for what he has done, it got broken down immediately. Before I even think about anything, is to reconcile with God again. That is his own paramount steadfastness in righteousness until he find it again what he lost between him and God. He will never do anything else. He will even forget about that he was a king. He will put ashes on his head, disgrace himself. Before you even disgrace him, before you even begin to really pass in with victory, he has naked himself before the Lord. That is what Solomon saw. I'm still coming there anyway. And now, O Lord, my God, thou hast made thy servant king instead of David, my father, and I'm but a little child. I know not how to go out to come in. And thy servant is in the midst of the people which thou hast chosen, a great people that cannot be numbered, nor counted for multitude. Verse 9. Give therefore thy servant an understanding heart to judge thy people, that I may discern between good and bad. For who is able to judge this thy people, so great a people? I said that the first thing that you have to learn from Solomon's prayer, discerning of spirit, the grace to know what is right and what is wrong. That is wisdom. That is where you demarcate, or you demarcate from devilish wisdom. Devil doesn't care. Devil wisdom doesn't care about what is right, what is good. That is where you handle him. When one wisdom said, obey your own model. Another one said, don't obey, do your own will. You are wise enough. You will know that this one is from God. Some people will keep on saying, I don't know when God is talking and when my mind is talking. What is he talking about? Is it towards godliness? When somebody asks you to wake up 3 a.m. and to pick your Bible and be reading, another one said go and sleep again, you will definitely know this one is drawing me towards God, this one is drawing me away from God. And you see what happened now to Solomon. He said, I want to discern. At the point of your decision, you must be able to, if you have the godly wisdom, you should be able to discern. Discern which one is good, which one is bad. Which one is good, which one is bad. Solomon asked for such. He said, yes, the task was great. The work is challenging. But if you can let me discern, this may be complicated. In your office, this may be so confusing. When you are in a family meeting, what if you can just pray silently? Don't just say, Lord, I need your wisdom. Lord, I must talk here. I must say something. Lord, what should I say? Give me the grace to discern. In pastor's meeting, in workers' meeting, when people are before you counseling them, I used to pray that prayer a lot. I used to pray it a lot. I never believe I know you. If you remember, people used to say, Ogbana, Ogba Odoni, Genape, that means to say, you are not the same person I say grace to on Sunday. It's not you. You have grown 3 days more. There's no way I can handle you the way I handle you on Sunday. You are here last week Thursday. You are coming again this Thursday. You are not the same person again. 1 week is a lot of time. So you can't just say, it's my son, it's my brother, it's my uncle. Some people are demanding more than just come and visit me from you. It's more than that. If you're not wise enough to be able to discern, who is this person before me? And you think, is it my mother? It's not your mother again. You have become an agent of the devil. You don't know. Because you cannot discern. By the time he starts talking, you are still thinking that it was that same man you married 10 years ago. It wasn't. Thank God for Jesus. When he was going with the disciples, and he said, what does people think I am? Peter said, you are the son of the Most High God. Okay. God said, Jesus Christ commanded him and said, yes, the flesh and blood doesn't reveal this one to you. Upon this is the kingdom built. It's given to you today, the key of the kingdom. Just a moment later, that same Jesus, that same Peter, but Jesus Christ was never living in the wisdom of yesterday or of 1 hour ago. He take issue one after the other. Like people in the embassy, when you are applying for visa, they tell you that if you are refused, they tell you that you can reapply again. Because each application is treated differently. They said it's treated differently. That is the method they use. The same time with Jesus Christ. So when Peter said, no, you can't go to Jerusalem, look has to look back. He didn't see Peter again. He saw the devil. He said, get thee behind me. Devil. He called the spade a spade straight. And when he called a woman again, a dog. When they call him a dog, a dog. Then the woman responded. Not as a dog, he replied. When they understand how he replied, she replied. She said, I've never seen this kind of a great woman again. Not because Jesus was not consistent. No, he was consistent. But because he discerned easily. The flexibility of your discernment shows how wise you are. It's the level of your wisdom. When you think that sister is the same sister you sing together in the choir, but what is coming out of his mouth or her mouth is from the pit of hell. You have to discern. When your husband is still your husband, you have to know. When your pastor is your pastor, you have to know. You must know. You just don't be crying and say, oh, because he's opening the heart of the blind, oh, he's the man of God. Because he read Bible and carry Bible and look down when he's walking on the shores, oh, he's the saint. Wisdom, when you have the wisdom we are talking about, godly wisdom, you will discern appropriately. You will discern appropriately. Is that giving wisdom to discern? No wonder when the woman came and I slept over our own son. Okay, bring me cutlass, I want to slaughter. The woman said slaughter. Other one said, no, don't slaughter. The other one said, don't slaughter. Give to this woman, the son of spirit. It was when the point Solomon got lost was the day he lost the spirit of discernment. The point of backsliding is the time you cannot discern again. Everything look the same before you. Everything look normal before you. You come to the church, you don't come, look normal. You attend serious meeting also at normal. The time you don't supposed to be in the shop, you sit down there, normal. The time you're supposed to respect, you don't respect, normal. The time the truth is looking so inconvenient for you to obey, normal. You can't discern again. The spirit of discernment. Let me continue reading that place. Because I promise you I will come back to that place again. Verse 6. I'm still coming back there. Give them verse 10 now. Bible says, and the speech pleased the Lord, that Solomon had asked this thing. You see that language there. He asked for about three things. Yet it was not pluralized. He didn't say these, T.H.E.S.E. These things. Because it stand together. Just one. It's one. You can't have one and left the other. Once you get one, then you have the other. They work together. They are like Trinity. That is how God patterned them. Now, what happens in verse 6? Number 3 of it. Is that not a spirit I said? Is that not a spirit? That is the ability to discern. Then, number 2, responding to God's guidance. God said, ask. He was asking. He was not delaying. That is wisdom. I told you that whenever God brings any prayer point to you, even if you are eating, a single phrase of prayer at times is powerful more than 3 days fasting and prayer dry. When you are wise enough to understand when God say pray, don't put something in your heart. Somebody was ministering one time here on the pulpit, and God said, pray for her. Yes, I remember it was Pastor Arrow. God said, pray for her, that he should remember what I've told her to tell us. Should I delay till we finish the service and go and lay hand upon her, or ask her to go and be fasting for 3 days? Or I should wait for the time to rebuke her? That God has said you have forgotten what he has told you? Give me your note, let me check. That is not the time. That is not the time. The time to pray. God said, pray. Pray for her. That you should remember what I've told her. Immediately when I was saying, I said, Lord, in the name of Jesus, I connect your spirit now with this woman that is talking. Let your wisdom come upon her now. What you have told her to tell us, connect her immediately. In the name of Jesus Christ. How many hours? Few seconds. And it shouldn't be delayed. When God points out somebody, you may not even know that person. Bible says, ask what I should give you. He never said, okay, I will ask 7 days' time. Immediately Solomon was asking. The ability to listen to God's guidance. Then, number 3. Bring value from antecedent, at least from things of the past. What happened in the time past? That is wisdom. You see clearly what happened in the time past. Let's go back to verse 6 because of our time. Bible says, and Solomon said, that, look at the past tense, so you have shewed unto thy servant David, my father, great mercy. It was in the past. David was no more again, but he could discover what happens to his life. Did you still remember what happens to the marriage of 20 years ago? You see what brought people into a problem is this. If you look at 1 Samuel, chapter 17, if you look from verse 26, how do you think David conquered Goliath? He remembered that once upon a time, he was saying it. He was telling, the Bible says he told somebody beside him. Somebody, okay, let us go there. My interpreter was trying to open. Let me open. 1 Samuel 17. 1 Samuel 17. 1 Samuel 17. 1 Samuel 17 verse 26. 26. And David spake to the man that stood by him, saying, what shall be done to the man that killed this Philistine, and taketh away the reproach from the Israel? For who is this uncircumcised Philistine, that he should divide the army of the Lord, living God? And the people answer. I don't want to tell you what people said. You can read it at home. Verse 28 now. 28. And Eliab, his elderly brother, heard when he spake unto the men, and Eliab's anger was kindled against David. And he said, why comest thou down hither? And with whom hast thou left those few sheep in the wilderness? I know. Was it that was that one truth? I know thy pride. I know thy pride, and the naughtiness of thy heart. How can Eliab read through the mind of David? He was misjudged. He was misjudged. He misjudged the heart of David. No experience. Now, there was a misconception of his goal. But David knew what he knew. What was the truth? Goliath was a circumcised Philistine. Anyway, what he was saying, it was against the army of God. That was his truth. That was the truth. When they are asking you, is that the only church going to heaven? Was that in your intention? If you keep on trying to defend that, you will keep on leading people to confusion. Misjudgment will keep on coming. Is Pastor Ijaopo the only pastor in the whole world? If you don't follow him or his teaching, will you go to hell? That's how the devil used to do. The truth you know, it will stand in between. It is true that if you eat that fruit, you will die. It is what concerns the devil about that. Was he the one to die or to stay alive? You never say you are confused about worshiping God, but you are worshiping. You never say you are tired of following the person you are following. But the devil will always come and tell you that, how can you close your shop at that ungodly hours and say you are going to go to one place of worship? How can you leave your whole friend? And they said, you go and marry that rickety man. Is Pastor Ijaopo want to try to matchmaking you? One day, a time will come. If just call you and said, go and marry that person. If you can't reason now, that is how the devil reasons. Eliab said, I know your heart. Devil doesn't know your heart, except you reveal your heart to him. David said, he just moved away. He knew, he decided the time to talk, because he knew what he should say. So when he was saying it again, Bible says that he left his familiar brother. They know themselves. He moved away from that person. He now go and join to another person. What I'm saying is this. This is a circumcised Philistine. Why is he defying the army of God? How to go and fight him? How to fight him? I must fight him. And he was saying, I must fight him, I must fight him. Bible says that it was now led to Saul. When he got to Saul, David understood the weapon is carrying in his head. You know what happens? Nigerian team one day go and play international matches, one international match. And then you see people complain a lot. Oh, this team are weak. They keep on wumbling. They are so bad. They don't have good record. They can't even win anything. And the coach said, I knew how they perform when the training stand. This is the truth he knew. Then he packed all those teams outside the country. They win the first match. They win second match. People that are complaining are still complaining that you have to change this team. You have to change this team. At the group stage, they won their games. And they move to the next stage. People that are complaining again, they are still complaining. We know they are winning. But they are wumbling. Then the press asked the coach, what is your confidence? Why do you keep on using this bad team? He said, you call them bad team, but they are the winning team now. Why do you want to change the winning team? They complain a lot about me in your house. In fact, when Adeleke was mentioning me at home, what do you think caused a lot of problem? What do you think it is? Mentioning unpopular pastor with the anointing they don't even know on the street. If it's a big pastor that people are just maybe close to on the screen. You can imagine 30 years ago, 20 years ago, how many people knows me? To cause injury again, I was just emancipating from maybe a ministry, known ministry again, to start a fresh one again. That one throw bomb into the house. What is your issue? But he has tested it. She knows it. You call him small. But before God, he's a winning pastor. And the man said, the man said, don't worry. This person you call your pastor. Yeah. Go and tell him. Go and tell him that it's just maybe a yearly or something like that. When at the year come, I will scatter everything. Go and tell him. But you know our principle, we will never pray against anybody. We don't even know what this man did. We never know what he did. But because he has mouth, he was a man of authority in the family. People respected him a lot. But he never cared. When he was preaching and pitching his tent against God. He never knows that. He never knows that. And until he passed his boundary, it was to scatter the thing on Friday. On Thursday morning, he was struck down by stroke. Nobody pray against him. Nobody wish him that. Though we still pray for him several times after that. When we are doing the engagement, the engagement was supposed to scatter. Then, that leg will not even move again you to carry him to that engagement place. Then people are carrying him about looking for bed. They can't even find bed. And they keep on, some people are busy doing the engagement with us. Some are carrying him all over the places. Maybe he didn't repent. We didn't even know. We never know. When the marriage was 5 years on the dot, it means to say he carried the ailment, the grace to repent and not the lies for 5 years. That man gave up the ghost. We never know what happens. So we pray for him. We prayed for him. When they asked David, with what are you conquering? He mentioned unpopular weapon of war. Unpopular weapon. Unpopular pastor. Unpopular church. Unpopular known to people. That was what he mentioned. He said, with sling. Solomon said, son said, don't you know what we are talking about? Son said, this man has been a warrior from the cradle. Experienced man. David said, this is what I know. This is the truth. That will make me free. They are castigating you, they are confronting you, condemning you at home, in your office and everywhere. Are you sure this is the weapon you're going to use to get married to a good man? God said, at this age of ours, it's no more popular. People have done it and they fail. Please they keep on bragging at them. You are saying you want to get married like this? As simple as this? They said to David, thou art not able to go against this Philistine to fight with him, for thou art but a youth. That's why I asked you to go and join a structured church. This one-man church you are following, that is how they manipulate and deceive you. That is how they tell you about it's so popular. And he's a man of war from his youth. Your weapon may not be popular. What you are saying may not be known to everybody. But he has won the battle for you once. He has the one you have used once. David said, hey, this sling you are looking at, I was in the field one day. He was still testifying. This pastor Ijaopo you are talking about, once upon a time, he joined two people together. And for 20 years, they were together. They said, please keep quiet. Let me say, thy servant kept his father's sheep. And there came a lion and a bear and took a lamb out of the flock. And I went out after him and smote him and delivered it out of his mouth. Number one. And when he arose against me, I caught him by his beard and smote him and slew him. We are talking about little David. I want to go. And thy servant slew both the lion and the bear. And this uncircumcised he keep on mentioning the truth he knows. He makes sure that that thing was just in his mouth. Has God provided husband for those people I met in that church? The same way God will do for me too. He have seen it. He have tried it. He have tasted it. It has worked for them. The same thing will happen to this uncircumcised Philistine. Shall be as one of them. Saying he had defied the army of the living God. How often do you prophesy the truth you know? What you know in the past. How that God has conquered for you in the past. Your friends are making jest of you. Yes, it is common. They are mentioning the name of big prophet. Big prophet. With big crowd. With private jet. With this and that. Who is this person you are talking about? We don't even know him at the neighborhood. Just a sling. Before this experience, Philistine. David said, no problem. Saul says, no problem. Go! They cannot confront him. Anybody, I told you at the beginning of this service, I said, what is the song I sang? Eh? You don't remember again? Eh? That is wisdom. When you don't forget, you will be a conqueror. You will be a conqueror. You will, when you don't forget, you will be wise. But because you forget, David never forget. He never forgot. He remembered that it has happened in time past. And these relations will be like one of them. If you don't forget how you came to this ministry, but you don't forget how your life was when you met me the first time. When you don't forget, if you are able to remember, the Philistine before you is just a small thing. Not small. Said I will conquer this one too. I will conquer this one too. This admission shall be like one of those victories I've gained in the past. I will still conquer. They want you to prove. You can't prove to them because they have not used it before. They cannot. They can't understand it. They don't know. David knew the sling. Saul did not know the sling. Philistine didn't know the sling. But David knows. Don't you know this God we are serving here? Don't you know? Once you know that God, and you're able to refer to that God, what he has done for you, what he has done to others, how he has treated your case in time past. You are once upon a time a sinner. That same God saved you. That same grace deliver you. That same purpose of grace. People want you to walk and walk and walk and walk and walk and walk. They want you to walk more. You are walking little before, and you are being liberated from poverty. People now say, abandon those places. Walk more. You don't say, no, I won't walk more. I won't walk more. I walk a little, I gain much. When the time pass, they tell you that, can you conquer these challenges of financial crisis? You said, yes. David said, yes. I will conquer. I will have victory. That was the Solomon's precedent. He was able to tell God now, my father was righteous. If I'm righteous, you will deal with me with mercy as well. He was steadfast. He was steadfast. My father was steadfast. And steadfastness pays him off. Then I will remain steadfast too. That was what he asked in verse 6. He asked, and he conquered. Rise up on your feet. Kọ́mi ní ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀, kọ́mi látòkè wá. Kọ́mi ní ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀, má jẹ́ n gbàgbé ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ bàbá. Kọ́mi ní ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀, kọ́mi látòkè wá. Kọ́mi ní ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀, má jẹ́ n gbàgbé ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ bàbá. Kọ́mi ní ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ o. Kọ́mi látòkè wá. Kọ́mi ní